Okay, yo, welcome back, welcome to the channel. It is, you know who I am. You clicked on the video. Okay, welcome back. So, as you guys can see, we have a little bit of a new setup here, a little bit different little space. Me and my wonderful wife have moved in together. You can kind of see her over there laying on the couch. She just got off work. Educating the youth of tomorrow, or the future leaders of tomorrow. That's a better way to put it. So today I got a video here that's okay, so I got a lot of flack for that last video I did from Tyler Childers. It's called Long Violent History. Apparently there's some people that think I was way off in what I thought about it and what he was saying, which I still don't think I was, but that's a whole different thing. So this is his response video to why he put it out. I saw people like kept mentioning it, saying I need to check it out. So that's what we're here to do today. I don't know if it's an apology or anything. The title of it is A Message from Tyler. So it's basically, I'm imagining just him just addressing why he made it, is what I got. So anyway, let's check it out. Before we get into that, where's my phone? Oh yeah. So I made a post yesterday of announcing the winners of the 5K subscriber giveaway. Thank you guys again for letting us get there. Just to say those names on here, I messaged all of those people already, so check your Instagram inbox for that message. But so we got Mark Hermans with the hat, we got Misty Walker with the t-shirt, and we have Stephanie Parr Stinnett with the gift card. So congratulations to you guys, y'all won that. Let's get into the video now, and let's see what he had to say. I hope he doesn't try to like backtrack all of this, because I feel like it's just gonna kind of look bad.
Back in June, when I wrote the song Long Violent History, it was my original goal to continue to make fairly legible sounds on the fiddle and put this album out with no announcements or praise. I'd planned to package it as an old-time fiddle album and let the piece make its statement on its own, taking the listener by surprise at the end. However, there has been concern that the album could run the risk of being misinterpreted if not given some sort of accompanying explanation to set it in context. A writer can write an essay, but the writer can never predict or control how that essay is interpreted by the reader, be it in a tone of level-headed calmness or a preachy, holier-than-thou, condescending way. As a recovering alcoholic who has drunk and drugged himself around the world playing music for the better part of 11 years and now has 6 months of sobriety, I can say with clarity that I have no soapbox to stand on to talk preachy to anyone on anything, be it the Word of God or the condition of the world.
So, were like people ridiculing him, saying that was like, you think you're better than us, like some moral high ground? Because to me the video sounded like he was just calling things out like that we all obviously can see. I don't see that as I don't know why he would feel like he has to address that. I mean, that stuff is obviously out there. So, all right.
But as a person who has been given a platform by providence, luck, support, and working at it, I would feel undeserving of the grace this world has given me, and I would find it a waste, were I not to try and use it to make some good. Long Violent History is a collection of instrumental pieces intended to create a sonic soundscape for the listener to set the tone to reflect on the last track, which is my own observational piece on the times we are in. COVID has been a strain on all of us in some form or fashion. People have been cooped up and quarantined. People have lost their...
All right, man. Just for beginners, it's about 1:45 in. This sounds like Again, I was just asking if he was, being ridiculed for that, and I was hoping that he wasn't trying to backtrack. But it looks like he's reading this off, like he's, like he has like a big whiteboard below the screen that he's reading off, which is just a PR move. And me personally, if you're gonna apologize, I know you want it to sound like sincere, but I'd rather you just say it instead of like reading off these words. Like, say what's on your heart. You made that song apparently from your heart, so why would you not also, if you need to apologize and backtrack, do it from your heart? Like, why do you, this seems what is it? Like I said, very PR-y, very oh, I'm sorry I made you mad. This is, at least that's how it's leading into.
Jobs and are struggling to make ends meet. People have lost their family members. The country is feeling a general angst. All the while, we've all witnessed violent acts of police brutality happen around the nation that have gone unaddressed. In response, we have seen protests turn to riots, and riots culminate in acts of violence and destruction of property. From the outsider's perspective, it's hard to see where all this visceral anger is coming from. What I believe to be one of
Hold on. Let me hear this again. Hold on.
Violent acts of police brutality happen around the nation that have gone unaddressed. In response,
I would love to know what situations he said have gone unaddressed. Because I feel like every day we see a new police officer on television having to explain himself. But okay, and let's hear this other part.
In response, we've seen protests turn to riots, and riots culminate in acts of violence and destruction of property. From the outsider's perspective, it's hard to see where all this visceral anger is coming from.
How is it hard for you to see where all this anger is coming from? That's the part that I'm not getting. How, as an outsider looking in, I'm trying to make sense of that, because, like, you know what? Let me just let him finish before or let him keep talking before I just, because that's a rabbit hole. I feel like I'm just gonna go down, and it'll just, yeah.
What I believe to be one of the biggest obstacles in pinpointing the cause of this is our inability to empathize with another individual or group's plight. In the midst of our own daily struggles, it's often hard to share an understanding for what another person might be going through. With that in mind, at the risk of mistakenly analogizing two groups of people, I would ask my white rural listeners to think on this. I don't mean to imply that many of you aren't already doing good self-examination on this issue, but I have heard from many who have not. What if we were to constantly open up our daily paper and see a headline like,
"Oh man,
man shot 7
Yeah, he went right down the road I thought he was going." Okay, hold on, let me speak this guy now.
A few moments later.
Yeah, man. He went right where I thought he was headed. Here's my thing. This sounds like another form of he made a bunch of pretty words to say white guilt, and it seems to be there's a whole culture of people building up this like a platform of that, of monetizing white guilt, and I say that in the sense of, when he said that, because he says he's addressing his white rural listeners, and then all that stuff I said, as he said, like at the beginning, and trying to like backtrack. Look, man, like I said, if you want to apologize from the heart, but also stand on what you said. Like you don't have to go. You said it. You felt it in the moment. So is he trying to say that's what that song was implying? Was that I was only speaking to my white rural listeners as if they're the only ones that could, they're the only ones that aren't being, what do you say, empathetic into what other groups' plight might be, which I'm gonna assume, since he said, what do you say, generalizing two groups of people? I'm gonna say white and black. But we just had a whole, 3 months of hashtag no Asian hate? Like, so for, again, for him to come out with this, like, let me see. Sorry, this video happened in September 18th, 2020. So, okay, so that was a little bit before the whole Asian hate thing. But at the same time, I'm still on the fact that, look, I don't like when, this is gonna turn into a rant. Let me let the video finish, because buddy, I'm not liking this. I'm really not liking this. Yeah.
But I have heard from many who have not. What if we were to constantly open up our daily paper and see a headline like, East Kentucky man shot 7 times on fishing trip, and read on to find the man was shot while fishing with his son by a game warden who saw him rummaging through his tackle box for his license and thought he was reaching for a knife.
But we're leaving out context. That's not what's happening. That's what's making me so upset about this. Like, there's a ton of context being lost here. If people were just going on with everyday lives doing things, and they were just getting gunned down, that's one thing. But we have not, and let me say in modern day, as in, I'm gonna go back 4 or 5 months. Let's take it from the George Floyd incident. When that situation took place, everyone and their mother agrees the police officer should not have put his knee on his neck. That's fair. Case in point, that you got it. You got it. But the actions that led up to the police being there are well justified. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They were there for a specific reason. He should have been taken into custody. You can't argue that one. So he's making it seem, so now let's say all the police incidents that have followed up after that, all up until September 18th, we've seen, what was it, Jacob Blake. He was there trying to cause harm to his baby mother's house, where he had a knife out, told the police officers wasn't getting in, like wrestled with them. That's just one incident. We saw the young man that was running from police, pulled out a gun, and the police officer shot him before he could. That was just another one that comes right off the head. The other guy that turned around and put the gun out, but may have been trying to toss the gun, but he put his arms up in the way of the officer, and then the officer again shot him, and unfortunately he died. But it's context that matters. If a guy is just out fishing with his son for no reason and a game warden asks him for his license, and that's a whole different scenario than a guy running from police down the street and then whipping out a gun. And I get he said the point of, and he maybe thought when he was reaching for his license he was pulling out a gun. I would love to see how many times that has ever even halfway happened. But we've seen the situation of police officers not reacting fast enough, and someone did pull out a gun and they got shot. And then we've also seen the flip of that, where a police officer proactively acted and they shot the person before they got to the gun. So we have reference to go off of that with context. This here is just basically trying to cover himself for going after people with again, like I said, monetizing white guilt. That's spineless, dude. I don't like that.
What if we read a story that began North Carolina man rushing home from work to take his elderly mother to the ER on the stop sign and is pulled over and beaten by police when they see a gun rack in the truck? Or a headline like Ashland Community and Technical College nursing student shot in her sleep.
Oh boy! Breonna Taylor is who he's referring to in that situation. Breonna Taylor, my mother has always told me this from a young age. Be mindful of the people you associate with, because if they're in trouble, you're in trouble. Bullets have no name and they know no face. Unfortunately, she lost her life that day due to the association of people that she was with. Also, you can go back through. Officer Tatum has a great video on this. Look up Officer Tatum, Breonna Taylor case. He has it on his website with the case details, and he also has numerous reaction videos to it breaking this down. You see on there, Officer Tatum talks about, in the video of her, where her name is tied in to a lot of those situations dealing with those people the police were after. They don't know, from what I remember, they're not exactly sure how she's tied in, but they know her house, her residence was possibly a stash house. They knew that she knew she was involved with both young men and their dealings. So it wasn't as if she was just this outside entity that got attacked innocently. So again, he's leaving out a lot of context here and trying to manipulating people, dude. That's what this is. That's not right. Let me let him keep going in because we got a few more minutes on this, and I don't want to make this too long. But
how would we react to that? What form of upheaval would that create? I venture to say if we were met with this type of daily attack on our own...
Did he say upheaval? Because if he did, that's a good word choice.
I venture to say if we were met with this type of daily... How would we react to that? What form of upheaval would that create?
Kudos.
I venture to say if we were met with this type of daily attack on our own people, we would take action in a way that hasn't been seen since the Battle of Blair Mountain in West Virginia. And if we wouldn't stand for it, why would we expect another group of Americans to stand for it?
Well, yeah, I would hope to God you would. I mean, I would hope anybody, no matter what color you are. Yo, if people were, like he said, just laying in their bed, sleeping, fishing with their children, trying to take their elderly mother to the doctor, and they were just getting gunned down and beat to death, yeah, I would hope everyone and the whole nation would stand up and be like, yo, this is enough. But that's not what is happening today. Like, that's not. So this is a misrepresentation of serious issues. And if anything, people should, now you could possibly make more people upset by misrepresenting what's going on. Because for me, that's what's upsetting, is misrepresenting and not telling things without the context. I know I keep saying that, but context is important. So this video does more harm than it does good. You could have just left the music and kept on going.
Why would we stand silent while it happened? Or worse, get in the way of it being rectified? I've heard people from my Appalachian region say that we want to act the way we've seen depicted on various media outlets. But I've also seen grown folks beat each other up the day after Thanksgiving for TVs and teddy bears. And these aren't things this community has lost. These are sons and daughters, brothers and sisters and cousins, mothers and fathers. Irreplaceable threads within their family fiber, torn from their loved ones too soon with no justice, and they are demanding change. Same as I expect we would. Life is hard enough without being worried about the smallest interaction with a public servant. So what can the rest of us who feel seemingly outside of these issues do? First, we can use our voting power to get rid of the people that have been in power and have let this go unnoticed. Chances are the people allowing this to happen are the same people keeping opportunity out of reach for our own communities, that have watched job opportunities shipped out and drugs shipped in, eating up our communities and leaving our people desperate in what some folks would deem a food desert. We can stop being so taken aback by Black Lives Matter. If we didn't need to be reminded, there would be justice for Breonna Taylor, a Kentuckian like me, and countless others. We can start looking for ways to preserve our heritage outside lazily defending a flag with history steeped in racism and treason.
Oh man. He's went full woke on this one. Whoo, boy. Hey. What minute we at? Okay. Yeah, this one may get demonetized. I'm trying. Oh, the comments are turned off, man, because I knew people were gonna be all over him on this. Because you know what? Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Things like hewing a log, carving a bowl, learning a fiddle tune, growing a garden, raising some animals, canning our own food, hunting and processing the animal, fishing, blacksmithing, trapping, and tanning the hide, sewing a quilt. And if we did things like that, we'd have a lot less time to argue back and forth over things we don't fully know, backed by news we can't fully trust. Love each other, no exceptions, and remember, united we stand, divided we fall.
Okay. The only truthful thing with context he said in there was with news and media you can't fully trust. That is 100% correct. I don't care what news station you listen to, what thing you read. All of them you got to read between the lines and find more research about what they said and and basically got to spend half a day just to get the actual straight truth out of whatever the situation was. Tyler Childers, man. Okay, first let me say, now I understand why people said that on my video. So I guess I do have to say my video is entirely wrong. It is entirely thrown off perspective because I thought he was coming from one way, and seems like he just came out of complete left field with that. So yeah, okay. So all right, fair enough. You guys win that in those comments for that video. Yeah, I was off. But he is off on all this that he said in this video. That's bad. That is bad. He should have never made this video. A message from Tyler that this should have never happened. How do I wrap this up without going too far? I'll still listen to your music. Fair enough. I'm not like some other people we see with opposing views where they try to cancel you if you don't agree completely with what they say. I get it, man. Hey, you have your way of thinking. I have mine. I just try to add more context and truth into mine. Fair. Man, all right. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also check out my podcast. It's called the Ambitious Journey Podcast. Now that I'm back, I got my setup. We got everything kind of rocking and rolling now. We should be starting back up that podcast soon. Yeah, you can check that out on YouTube. Just go over to our YouTube channel. It's called the Ambitious Journey Podcast, and you can find all those episodes there. Or you can listen to the audio of that on any major platform that you would listen to podcasts on. Now that we have made it to 5,000, let's up it. Let's do another giveaway when we get to what do we think? Let's say 15,000. When we make it to 15,000, that's when we will do another giveaway. Okay. Yeah, man. I really appreciate you guys checking us out. This is gonna make me think all night. I'm gonna go back and watch this again too, because like I really almost can't really even believe that I just heard that. But you know, anyway. All right. Till next time.